So I talk about alcoholism and addiction as if it's life and death, because it is, because it really quite literally is. You know, for people who don't drink or drug so heavily, they might think that perhaps this is, a little over the top. That's, it's really not that serious a problem. But the reality is, it's an insidious issue, and there's so many ways that drinking and drugging harm our society that it's almost immeasurable. When we look at, obviously, domestic violence, alcohol being the most easily accessible drug and having such huge social consequences. But for me personally, I can just say that there is, for anyone who drinks as heavily as I did, there is the chance of alcohol poisoning. So that was a very real option for me. There is anyone who, not thinking, gets behind the wheel of a car. There's their life and anybody else on the road, their life at risk. As I mentioned, there's domestic violence. There's accidental overdoses. I've heard stories of people who've been sober for like 15, 20 years, go out and overdose, not used to the quantity, maybe there's fentanyl in there, and they overdose and die and leave their family and their kids behind. So this is a really, really serious issue, and I know that personally, because also as a recovering alcoholic, I go to so many funerals because so many people either end their own lives or die of alcoholism. Who's to say whether I would have died or just got brain damage? Kind of sounds funny, but it's not funny. I fell off the toilet onto my head here and got a bleed on the brain. That could have been brain damage. That could have been life-threatening. And that's just one of the little silly things that we do when we drink or drug, We fall over, so this stuff's not harmless, Drinking and drugging has, and say I'd passed, then that would have been so much pain for all of my family and friends. So for everyone who passes in a relapse, or everyone who struggles, the ripple effect for all the people watching them struggle, watching them in pain, losing their loved ones. This is why I talk about this so seriously and so passionately, because, this is a huge issue as a society that we're suffering from, and together we need to come up with a solution.